Good evening, you're tuning in to AWANI Tonight with me, Faye Kwan. Police are investigating reports of an explosive sound and tremors felt in the Ipoh area earlier today. Beirut Police Chief Dato' Azizi Mat Aris says preliminary investigations have yet to produce likely sources of the sound and tremors around 11:06 a.m. that alarmed residents within the vicinity. According to him, a check with the Northern Brigade of the General Operations Force in Ulu Kinta showed that no explosion-related training was conducted today. Azizi also added that a check with the Land and Mines Office confirmed that no quarry blasting took place before 12 p.m. In the statement, he stated that the Malaysian Meteorological Department also did not report any seismic activity in the area, although an earthquake occurred in Halmahera, Indonesia at 11:24 a.m. earlier today. He advised the public to stay calm and avoid speculation that could cause unnecessary panic. Earlier today, Ipoh residents reported hearing a loud boom that some described as like the sound of a bomb going off. No injuries or property damage has been reported. The police have identified 4 men to assist in investigations into the claims made by Atiyah, the daughter of former Al-Arkam leader Ashari Muhammad or Abuya, that she was held captive at a GISB settlement in Batu Hampah, Perak. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussein says they are now tracking down the 4 suspects, all above 20 years old.
Kalau setengah orang cakap kita tergesa-gesa, kita tidak tergesa-gesa. Kita bukan ada je macam ni terus tangkap, tak ada. Itu anggapan di luar sana mungkin silap. Siasatan dijalankan dulu. Sekira ada keterangan, semalam pun dah dilawat ke Ipoh, ada keterangan kita akan cari kesan. Buat masa ni kita lebih kurang tahulah.
On Sunday, 41-year-old Atiyah alleged she had been subjected to violence and claimed she was raped by a GISB leader. Razaruddin did not rule out the possibility that other victims may have experienced similar treatment. The Agriculture and Food Security Ministry is exploring potential areas in Sabah and Sarawak to be developed as the next national jelapang padi. Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Sabu says that this initiative is crucial to boost the country's rice production due to increasing demand. He said the current reliance on rice production from rice bowl areas in the peninsula is also insufficient to meet the future demand.
Sarawak misalnya sekarang menawarkan untuk menjadikan jelapang padi yang kedua. Dengan peruntukan awal diberi 500 juta. Ini kena pergantungan di sebelah semenanjung ini dalam jangka panjang tidak dapat mencukupi. Sebab itu kita kena troka di Sarawak dan juga Sabah. Ini yang kita harap dalam RMK akan datang kena tumpu. Sebab beras ini tetap jadi makanan ruji rakyat Malaysia. Walaupun dia cuba makan roti canai 2 biji, mie goreng sepinggan, tapi dia tidak makan nasi juga.
Muhammad also assured that there is currently sufficient rice supply in the market to meet the population's needs. As of this month, he said that the total rice stock, including reserves, stands at 1.1 million metric tons, expecting to last for 5 to 6 months. The 13th Malaysia Plan, or 13MP, is set to be tabled in the 3rd quarter of next year. Economy Minister Rafizi Ramli is actively holding engagement sessions and discussions to obtain input and suggestions to develop the 13MP framework.
Datuk Yang di-Pertua, Kementerian Ekonomi sedang giat melaksanakan pelbagai sesi libat urus, perbincangan, dialog serta mesyuarat dengan kumpulan perancang antara agensi ataupun IAPG bagi mendapatkan input dan cadangan yang akan diambil kira dalam RMK 13.
Rafizi said the Economy Ministry had launched the Madani Mendengar program from September until December 2024 to obtain input and views from all levels of society. The 13MP will be the continuation of the 12th MP, which will end in 2025.
yang dijangka.
AWANI International is your gateway to global news, insights and stories that matter. From breaking headlines to in-depth analysis, stay connected with the world right here where you won't miss a beat.
Rambut gugur lagi? Macam mana Gunakan Pantene Baharu dengan provitamin mikro yang meresap dan menguatkan rambut dari dalam. Rambut 10 kali lebih kuat terhadap rambut gugur. Pantene Baharu.
AWANI International is your gateway to global news, insights and stories that matter. From breaking headlines to in-depth analysis, stay connected with the world right here where you won't miss a beat.
In its war on sugar, the government plans to increase the excise duty on sugary drinks from January 1st. Professor Dr. Sharifah Izzat Wan Puteh from Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia emphasises the need for such measures to mitigate the rise in non-communicable diseases such as diabetes.
There's almost like 50 to 74 countries that has implemented some sort of sugar tax. Now, what it does is that with the increment in tax, it also sometimes most likely to lead an increment in the sugar beverages as well. So what will happen is that there's less consumption of so-called sugar coated drinks, sugar beverage, and this leads to a reduced consumption of sugar generally among the population. So some of the models that have been sort of put up is that, you know, the tax actually reduced about 9.2% of sugar consumption. And if we are to move forward, this reduction in consumption, sugar consumption, would be beneficial for the whole nation. Now that we know that non-communicable disease, specifically diabetes, is on the rise in Malaysia as well. At the moment, the current so-called conundrum is that we are also, in a way, subsidizing some of the sugar companies or production of sugar. And that leads to a wide discrepancy. So increment of putting up the tax would reduce consumption, but you should not be subsidizing the production of sugar.
However, Professor Sharifah warned that the impact of the tax will be gradual.
From what we have at the moment, the sugar tax is considered one of the lowest in even Asian countries. So the impact will be slow. In a way, what happens is that, you know, it will not be a straight away reduction of obesity or diabetic, but we will, you know, some of the literature will say is that you can only see the impact after some time, which is about 3 to 5 years. But you can see the direct impact would be the lesser number or lesser amount of sugar consumption. It would translate to a higher price for certain SSBs, and in a way this would reduce purchasing power of certain population towards that, which is already unhealthy drinks and so forth. You have to take your healthcare seriously. Example, the high burden of diabetes leads to a lot of kidney failures. And when you are obese, you are also likely to have, some changes in your liver, and you may get fatty liver, in the end, liver fibrosis, and also liver failure. Of course, that's the extreme end, and we already see the changes in the population having all these problems. And this is very important why the population needs to keep themselves healthy and prevent the disease at bay as much as possible.
A plane from Dubai landed in Beirut's international airport earlier today after a huge blast rang out in the vicinity of the airport. There is no immediate information on what caused the explosions or any details regarding casualties. Large explosions erupted near Beirut's international airport, located in the southern suburbs of the Lebanese capital on Sunday night, engulfing the area in thick smoke. The smoke rising from those blasts was still visible as flight ME429 from Dubai was landing early on Monday. Lebanon state media reported an Israeli air raid on Beirut's southern suburbs soon after the Israeli military warned it would attack an association accused of financing Hezbollah in Lebanon. The Hezbollah-linked financial institution has more than 30 branches across Lebanon, including 15 across central Beirut and its suburbs. Indonesia's newly inaugurated President Prabowo Subianto has unveiled his 48-member cabinet, which includes over 100 ministers and deputies. The ministers, featuring a mix of familiar faces from former President Joko Widodo's administration and new appointees, were sworn in during a ceremony at the State Palace in Jakarta today.
Prabowo's so-called red and white cabinet sees the reappointment of 18 officials from Jokowi's previous cabinet, including Sri Mulyani Indrawati as Finance Minister and Bahlil Lahadalia as Energy Minister. Analysts say Prabowo's reappointments show his intention to continue the policies of Jokowi. Prabowo's cabinet differs in just some aspects, as some ministries have been broken up or renamed, with Education and Culture ministries separate, as well as Environment and Forestry. During the swearing-in ceremony on Monday, Prabowo promised to eradicate corruption and aim to reach self-sufficiency in food and energy. The new ministers and officials will work alongside Vice President Gibran Rakabuming Raka to serve Southeast Asia's largest economy.
Elon Musk is facing mounting criticism for potentially violating US election rules with his pledge to give money to registered voters who sign a petition. The tech billionaire, who emerged as one of Donald Trump's biggest corporate backers, announced he will give away $1 million a day to a registered voter in key swing states until the US presidential election on November 5th.
The daily winner will be randomly selected from those who signed a pro-US Constitution petition organized by Musk's campaign group America PAC, which supports free speech and the right to bear arms. The first lottery-style check was awarded to a surprise attendee at a town hall event in Pennsylvania on Saturday night, with another given out on Sunday. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, a Democrat and Kamala Harris supporter, voiced concern, calling Musk's strategy deeply concerning and urging law enforcement to investigate the payments. The contest is open to voters in key battleground states, including Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, and North Carolina, that will ultimately decide the White House election. With just 2 weeks until Election Day, polls show Trump and Harris in a tight race.
The death of 11 monkeys at a zoo in Hong Kong over the past week is believed to have been caused by a bacterial infection. The city's authorities say the monkeys died from sepsis after contracting milioidiosis, likely originating from soil near their habitat.
Autopsies found a large amount of the milioidiosis-inducing bacteria in the monkey's organs. Culture, Sport and Tourism Secretary Kevin Young told local broadcaster RTHK that works at the zoo required digging up the soil near where the monkeys lived. Workers were then believed to have brought contaminated soil into the cage through their shoes. The bacteria is particularly common in moist clay soil. While it can affect both humans and animals, authorities stated that it is unlikely to be transmitted from animals to humans.
That wraps up this edition of AWANI Tonight. Now, before we end, a reminder that AWANI International is now live on Astro AWANI's web portal. Astro AWANI's revamped English platform delivers in-depth global news and expert analysis to keep you informed on the critical events shaping our world. All in one place at international.astroawani.com. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'm Faye Kwan. Good night.